What if I told you that the difference between the top 1% of high achievers and the rest of us isn't about being born with a silver spoon or having an innate talent, but rather about the habits they cultivate every single day? It's a disturbing thought, isn't it? That the reason why some people seem to effortlessly glide towards success while we're stuck in a rut is because of the tiny, almost imperceptible choices they make every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. A study conducted by Dr. Wendy Wood, a renowned psychologist from Duke University, found that approximately 43% of our daily behaviors are habitual, which means that almost half of our waking hours are spent on autopilot, following routines that we've ingrained in ourselves over time. This raises an important question. What if the habits of the top 1% are not just a byproduct of their success, but the very foundation upon which it's built? The idea that our habits have the power to shape our destiny is both exhilarating and terrifying. On one hand, it means that we have the power to create the life we want, simply by changing the way we live our daily lives. On the other hand, it means that if we're not careful, our habits can also hold us back, keeping us trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, led by Dr. Angela Duckworth from the University of Pennsylvania, found that people who exhibited high levels of grit and self-discipline were more likely to achieve their long-term goals, regardless of their intelligence or talent. This finding is supported by another study conducted by Dr. Charles Duhigg, a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, who discovered that the brain's habit-forming abilities are closely linked to the basal ganglia, a region responsible for reward-based learning. So, what are the habits that set the top 1% apart from the rest of us? Let's take a closer look at the daily routines of these high achievers and see if we can uncover the secrets that have propelled them to the pinnacle of success. For instance, many of them start their day with a consistent morning routine, which includes activities such as meditation, journaling, or exercise. This helps them set a positive tone for the rest of the day and gives them a sense of control and focus. As we delve deeper into the world of the top 1%, we begin to notice a pattern of behaviors that are both fascinating and counterintuitive. For example, many of these high achievers are not morning people, despite what we've been led to believe. In fact, a study by Dr. Christoph Randler, a biologist from the University of Education in Germany, found that people who are naturally more alert and focused later in the day are more likely to be successful in their careers. This challenges the conventional wisdom that early risers are always more productive and successful. Another interesting habit of the top 1% is their ability to balance work and play. They understand that taking breaks and engaging in activities they enjoy is essential for their mental and physical well-being. This is supported by a study conducted by Dr. Alejandro Lares, a psychologist from the University of Illinois, who found that taking short breaks can improve our focus and productivity by allowing our brains to rest and recharge. The top 1% also prioritize self-care, recognizing that their physical and mental health is crucial to their success. They make time for activities such as exercise, meditation, and spending time with loved ones, which helps them manage stress and maintain their energy levels. The habits of the top 1% are not just about what they do, but also about what they avoid. For instance, many of them avoid multitasking, recognizing that it can decrease productivity and increase stress. Instead, they focus on a single task at a time, giving it their undivided attention. They also avoid procrastination, using techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, which involves working in focused 25-minute increments, followed by a 5-minute break. This helps them stay on track and avoid burnout. Additionally, the top 1% avoid negative self-talk, recognizing that it can hold them back from achieving their goals. They practice self-compassion, treating themselves with kindness and understanding, even when they make mistakes. This helps them build resilience and maintain a positive mindset, even in the face of adversity. As we explore the habits of the top 1%, it becomes clear that their success is not just about talent or luck, but about the deliberate choices they make every day. They have a clarity of purpose, a sense of direction, and a willingness to put in the effort required to achieve their goals. The psychology of success is complex and multifaceted, and there is no one-size-fits-all formula for achieving it. However, by studying the habits of the top 1%, we can gain insights into the mindset and behaviors that have contributed to their success. We can learn from their examples, and apply the principles they've used to achieve their goals to our own lives. For instance, we can start by setting clear and specific goals, breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks, and creating a schedule to achieve them. We can also prioritize self-care, recognizing that our physical and mental well-being is essential to our success. By adopting these habits and making them a part of our daily routine, we can increase our chances of achieving our goals and joining the ranks of the top 1%. But what if I told you that there are 5 specific habits that are common among the top 1%, habits that have been scientifically proven to contribute to their success, and that by adopting these habits, you can significantly increase your chances of achieving your goals? And that's exactly what we're going to explore next, as we dive into the 5 habits that the top 1% use to achieve success, and how you can start using them in your own life, starting with the habit of. So, we've established that the top 1% have certain habits that set them apart from the rest of us. But what are these habits, and how can we start implementing them in our own lives? One of the key habits of the top 1% is a strong sense of self-awareness. They have a deep understanding of their own strengths, weaknesses, and motivations, which allows them to make better decisions and stay focused on their goals. This is backed up by a study conducted by Dr. Tasha Eurich, who found that self-awareness is a key predictor of success, and that people who are more self-aware tend to have better relationships, make better decisions, and are more effective leaders. Now, let's talk about how you can start developing this habit in your own life. One practical step you can take is to start journaling. Yes, journaling. It's an old-school habit that's making a comeback, and for good reason. By taking just a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts, feelings, and reflections, you can start to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your motivations. For example, let's say you're trying to start a new exercise habit, but you keep finding yourself hitting the snooze button instead of getting out of bed to go to the gym. By journaling about your thoughts and feelings, you might realize that you're not actually motivated by the desire to get in shape, but rather by the desire to feel more energized and confident. This can help you to reframe your goals and create a more effective plan for achieving them. Another habit of the top 1% is a willingness to take calculated risks. They're not afraid to step outside their comfort zones and try new things, even if it means failing. This is backed up by a study conducted by Dr. Carol Dweck, who found that people with a growth mindset are more likely to take risks and view failures as opportunities for growth and learning. For example, let's say you're an entrepreneur who's been wanting to launch a new product, but you're afraid of failing. By adopting a growth mindset and viewing failure as an opportunity for learning, you can start to take the calculated risks necessary to bring your idea to life. So, what can you do to start developing this habit in your own life? One practical step you can take is to start small. Instead of trying to take a huge risk all at once, start by taking tiny risks that challenge you to step outside your comfort zone. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, start by speaking up in a small group setting or volunteering to give a presentation at work. As you become more comfortable, you can start to take on bigger challenges and work your way up to bigger risks. Another habit of the top 1% is a strong sense of resilience. They're able to bounce back from setbacks and failures and keep moving forward even when things get tough. This is because they have a strong sense of purpose and meaning, which gives them the motivation and direction they need to keep going. For example, let's say you're an artist who's been working on a new project for months, but you just got rejected by a potential client. Instead of giving up, you can use this as an opportunity to learn and grow, and to come back even stronger. By adopting a growth mindset and focusing on the process, rather than the outcome, you can start to build the resilience you need to succeed. Now, let's talk about how you can start developing this habit in your own life. One practical step you can take is to start practicing mindfulness. By taking just a few minutes each day to focus on the present moment, you can start to build the resilience you need to handle setbacks and failures. For example, you can try practicing deep breathing exercises or taking a short walk outside to clear your mind. By doing so, you can start to develop the clarity and focus you need to stay on track and achieve your goals. In addition to these habits, the top 1% also have a strong sense of discipline and self-control. They're able to stay focused and motivated, even when the going gets tough. This is because they have a clear sense of what they want to achieve, and they're willing to put in the hard work necessary to get there. For example, let's say you're a student who's trying to get into a top university. Instead of getting distracted by social media or video games, You can stay focused on your goal by creating a schedule and sticking to it. By using tools like the Pomodoro technique, you can stay on track and make steady progress towards your goal. By adopting these habits, you can start to see real changes in your life. You'll become more self-aware, more resilient, and more disciplined. You'll start to take calculated risks and view failures as opportunities for growth and learning. And most importantly, you'll start to achieve your goals and realize your dreams. So what are you waiting for? Start by taking one small step today and see where it takes you. Whether it's journaling, practicing mindfulness, or taking a calculated risk, the most important thing is to start taking action and moving forward. As you start to develop these habits, you'll begin to notice changes in your life. You'll become more confident, more motivated, and more focused. You'll start to see the world in a different way, and you'll begin to realize that anything is possible. And when you do, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. You'll be amazed at the person you can become. If this helped you see yourself differently, subscribe. I post new psychology insights every single day. And if you want to go even deeper, check the link in the description for Atomic Habits by James Clear. It changed how millions of people think and act.